Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This winter, the world will be watching the best skaters chase their Olympic dreams. For your child, that dream could start right here at your local rink. Through Learn to Skate USA, kids build strength, confidence, and courage, the same qualities that take athletes to the Olympic ice. Learn to Skate USA offers programs for skaters of all ages and abilities. This is where the journey begins. Find a program near you at learntosskateusa.com, because every champion starts with a first glide.
Are you running for office and have a message you want every voter in your district to hear? Well, that's where radio comes in. Radio is your direct line to morning commuters, midday grinders, and late nighters. Radio puts your message right where your voters are. Plus, it's 1/10 the time and cost of video. Don't just campaign, connect with millions all over the country, even thousands in the smallest communities with radio. Be on the air in just 48 hours. Visit winwithiheart.com. That's winwithiheart.com.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
From the ABA Heating and Cooling Weather Center, this is Zone Weather.
Your Austin weather, some rain this morning, sunshine in the afternoon, a high of 62 for your Tuesday. Slight chance of a shower this evening, a low of 46. Wednesday, sunshine, a high near 70, a low in the upper 30s.
This report is sponsored by O'Keeffe's Working Hands Hand Cream.
Listen, if rubbing your hands together sounds like this, you need O'Keeffe's Working Hands Hand Cream. It instantly relieves extremely dry, cracked hands. O'Keeffe's, look for the green package.
Jesus didn't live passively. He lived on a rescue mission. As we step into the new year, the Daily Pursuit with Tim Tebow podcast reminds us that God has called us to more, to live on purpose and rise as conquerors. As followers of Christ, we're called to do the same, because discipline may be painful in the moment, but it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace. Open your free iHeartRadio app. Search The Daily Pursuit with Tim Tebow and listen now.
AM 1300 The Zone.
Promo code 2pros at DraftKings. The crown is yours. Coming up, top of next hour, somebody is addressing their future in the world of football. We will get into that for you right here on FSR. Speaking of futures, a lot of people want to know what's going to happen in Philadelphia following a disappointing season. Even though they won a bunch of games, won the division, hosted a playoff game, but that performance, what was happening on offense all year, there's been a lot of discussion about Kevin Patullo, A.J. Brown, etc. Jalen Hurts, the quarterback of the Eagles, was asked about both of them and their potential return yesterday, and it sounded like this.
With Kevin Patullo, do you want him to come back as the offensive coordinator?
It's too soon to think about that. And like I said, I put my trust in Howie, Nick, and Mr. Lurie.
What about A.J. Brown? Would you like A.J.?
AJ and I talk. We're in a great place.
So, sounds like a glowing endorsement.
Everybody always says that when it's about AJ. I don't. First of all, AJ Brown is a pretty enlightened dude, and it just kind of seems like he gets this bad rap because of the way it plays out on camera. Maybe rightfully so, but I just think it's interesting. Like, we talk like AJ Brown is like the worst dude ever. Like, have y'all seen how poorly behaved receivers look? Like, yeah, he's had some drama, some beef, but golly, like, maybe we need to be asking about Jalen Hurts and what his future looks like, because he could be the real problem. That's all I would say. He could be the root of all of this. Like, we're talking about an OC, we talk about a receiver, but you're talking to the real. What we really wanted to ask you, Jalen, is
hey, why didn't anybody like you?
Can you be any better than what you?
Oof.
Yeah. Can you be a better person to the people around you? Can you be a better quarterback on the field?
I mean,
that's what we really want to ask.
It's just like
we're in a good place.
I mean, there's clearly going to be
some
changes.
Oh, there's got to be.
I don't know that they're going to walk away from Jalen Hurts. It just feels like, people in Philadelphia are scratching their heads, but they've been here so many times before. Man, Doug Peterson was the guy for a while, and then he wasn't. And Chip Kelly was really popular for a while, and then he wasn't. The cycle is so fast in Philly, man. Like, it's so quick.
Chris, I mean, to LeVar's point earlier when he kind of said Mike Tomlin's the constant, Chris Sims did an interesting breakdown, just talking about how, hey, it's Jalen Hurts. Like, he's the constant. He's the one that wants the offense the way it is. If people are upset about it, maybe more people should look at him. Kind of an interesting perspective on it.
Spotlight. I opened this conversation with open arms. Let's take a break.
Hey, it's Brady Quinn. Winter really tests your sleep. Staying asleep gets harder when your kids are moving around, looking for warmth on cold nights. Mattress Firm sleep experts can match you with a bed built for deeper rest, like a Tempur-Pedic with a unique material that absorbs motion for undisturbed rest. Shop Mattress Firm's once-a-year sale and clearance and save up to $500 on select Tempur-Pedic mattresses with next-day delivery. Restrictions do apply. Next-day delivery available on select mattresses and subject to your location. See store for more details.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Listen to the Bama Brown Experience on the free iHeart Radio app or at BamaBrownPodcast.com.
There's a new accident causing delays on Palmer Lane at the westbound side of the Highway 290 service road, as well as ongoing cleanup for a crash on the service road of I-35 northbound at Stassing. If you're just hitting the roads, hopping on 183 going southbound, your stop and go from Oak Knoll Drive over to Mopac. It's adding about 10 minutes to your commute. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. The once-a-year sale and clearance is here. Upgrade today with Mattress Firm's quality selection of top brands. Let their sleep experts find the perfect bed to help transform your nights. They make sleep easy.
New year, new opportunities. Start 2026 by taking control of your financial future with Texitcoin, the cryptocurrency born in Texas for Texans. Fast, secure, and decentralized, Texitcoin is your chance to buy into freedom and innovation. Don't just make the resolution, make moves toward independence, growth, and real financial power. Visit Texitcoin.com today and join the Texas revolution in finance. Make this the year you lead, not follow. Texitcoin, where Texas meets tomorrow.
The deals are heating up at Group 1 Ford of South Austin, home of transparent pricing and no dealer add-ons. Lease a new Ford Bronco Sport Big Bend for just $329 a month with zero down. Or lease a new Ford Explorer for $429 a month with zero down. 36-month lease terms. Bronco Sport MSRP $33,690. Explorer Active MSRP $42,940 before discounts. For well-qualified buyers with approved credit. First payment due at signing. See dealer for details. Ends 2/2/26.
What does it mean to work with one of the largest personal injury law firms in Texas? At Thomas J. Henry, it means we can take cases all the way to trial when others would have accepted a low settlement offer. It means Thomas J. Henry can put our team of legal minds, investigators, and medical experts to work for you. It means you get personal attention and access to our team when you need us. Visit thomasjhenrylaw.com. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. Principal Office, San Antonio.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Chris, can you put the video game controller down for a second?
I can talk and play. Oh, I'm totally annihilating this punk kid in Nebraska.
I just feel like you're not acting like a grown-up in our relationship.
Am too.
Well, you still ride your skateboard to work. There's the comic book collection, the race car bed.
Look, I'm young at heart, but I put money into my 401k every paycheck. I picked up a few savings tips at feedthepig.org. I have control of my financial life now, and that feels pretty grown up.
Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. Putting some money from every paycheck into a savings account or contributing to your 401k can make a big difference later. For free ideas and easy tips on ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org.
So, I bet I look like a grown-up to you now.
Well, except for the footy pajamas, I'd have to agree.
This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
From the Audio Visual Consultation Studios, Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin, your home for the Horns, and the #1 preset in your car and on the free iHeartRadio app.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns, 1300 The Zone.
Good morning, Austin, K-Town, Pflugerville, H-Town, Pearland, City, El Paso,
San Antonio, and Stillsby, Texas,
or wherever you may be listening. This is a Turn the Page Tuesday edition of the Morning Kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. Texas welcomes all the incoming freshmen and portal players. The Texans go to Pittsburgh and handle their business. The divisional round is set, and we'll talk about that. Joe Cook of Inside Texas brings us all the latest on the 40 acres at 7:34. The NBA is on full display. Texas baseball is ready for the baseball season to start, as is Texas softball, and we have so much Texas basketball. I am your host, Mike Hardball Hardge. My co-host is a WWE Hall of Famer and recognized as the world's strongest man. He is the Mark Henry.
Good morning, Austin.
And we have our guy Marcus behind the boards. And if you want to be a part of the show, all you got to do is text the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. That's the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. Also, if you want to voice your opinion, all you got to do is use that talkback feature on the new and improved and always free iHeartRadio app. If it's good enough, you might even hear it on air. But more importantly, we're going to give you a chance to win a pair of tickets all week long to go see the Texas Longhorns host the Texas A&M Fighting Aggies this Saturday. We're going to give you a chance to win a pair of tickets all week long. Don't miss out on these opportunities to have that happen. All right, let's get into it because there's still a lot of stuff that is going on the 40 acres, and none more important right now than the incoming freshmen and portal players that Texas has welcomed to the 40 acres. Everybody's on campus. School starts back up today. So everyone is ready to rock and roll. And Texas continues to stay active in the portal with more players getting in. Warren Robertson decided that it was time for him to explore the portal situation. But I don't know if this is something that Texas fans were expecting. I don't know if this was something that a lot of guys were looking at in a certain way. But when I looked at it yesterday, I did not know that he was thinking about getting into the transfer portal. So we'll see what ends up happening after that. Well, initially, Texas became the #1 ranked team in the portal transactions. But like everything else, there was some news that came out of Louisiana that made LSU the -- 1 team in portal rankings. And the news came out that Sam Leavitt will be the quarterback of the portal and LSU. So Sam Leavitt has now officially left Arizona State and has become the quarterback for LSU.
Wow, that's big news. And we got to see Sam up close and personal a couple of years ago.
Yep.
And he's a gamer.
Yeah, he is now going to be working with Lane Kiffin. And it's kind of interesting because Texas does play LSU this year at LSU. Got to make that trip over there. But now it becomes even more interesting because of the players that are now involved with them. Texas has made their moves in the transfer portal. They did everything that they need to do. They're still going to be active. Still got a couple more days until the 16th is when the portal officially closes. But there's a lot of guys that have been on the move. Christian Clark just recently jumped into the transfer portal. We talked a little bit about where guys are going to end up. Jamie French, Michigan, Jordan Washington, North Carolina, Elijah Barnes, Kentucky, along with C.J. Baxter at Kentucky. Trey Owens, the quarterback that a lot of people had big hopes for, has decided to go to Arkansas State. He will now be there. Aaron Butler is a kid that's supposed to be going to Oregon State. The biggest question now for all those players that are going out, where is DeAndre Moore Jr. going to end up? This was a guy that I did not want him to leave the 40 acres. But what Texas was able to go and get and replace that side of the ball is huge when you go and get a Cam Coleman, who is a 5-star transfer, to come in and make some plays. We talked about Hollywood Smothers. The linebacker, Rasheem Biles, is a monster. He is going to be effective right away. And then you also look at Raleek Brown in the running back rooms as well. So there's some changes on the 40 acres, a lot to look at, a lot to try to unwrap when you start to look at these teams as well.
Well, when you get a dominant player like a Coleman, like Cam Coleman, you have to roll coverages his side. I mean, he's that dominant of a force, or bracket him or do whatever you need to do. You're going to leave Ryan Wingo and Mosley on one-on-ones? Like, who's going to cover the crosser?
Right.
Like, if Mosley is crossing and you got all your coverage allocated to covering either Wingo or Coleman, I'm going to tell you something. Mosley could have a really, really big year next year.
Well, if Texas decides that that's the type of offense they're going to run, there's got to be some changes.
You always got to have a crosser with all these deep routes.
No doubt about it. But you also got to make sure that the offense is being called that way. And there was a lot of times that it wasn't called that way with all the talent that was on that team.
My name is Bennett, and I ain't in it.
I would love to see the tight end be more featured as well. We didn't see Jack injuries until the end of the season. So you got to make sure that you start using some of these weapons instead of just going to one guy all the time. You've got way too many stars on this team to really just focus on one.
Shannon Spencer 6'7". Like, there's got to be a 2 tight end lineup where you can get him to post everybody up. I mean, just throw it higher than everybody.
Let me ask you this. Why do you think he's not on the field?
I don't know.
Obviously, something's not clicking. Whenever guys aren't playing, that means, especially with those type of measurables,
right?
There's something else that is not hitting properly.
Well, let's just hope that by the time the spring starts, that things are clicking.
That's a
coach him up.
Maybe that's not the problem either. Maybe it's just not registering. There's times where you can be the best, but things still don't click. And I'm not saying that's true, but what else is happening to why this young man isn't able to get on the field on a more consistent basis? We can make assumptions, and I'm just talking about me. I'm not talking about nobody else. You can look at certain guys and say, okay, your measurables are too ridiculous. What are we missing? Where is the disconnect to where you're not on
Who
there?
has that conversation? Position coach or the coordinator or head coach?
Yep.
All of the above.
Absolutely. There's a
pull them
meeting.
in a room.
Yeah, let's
like the airport, pull them in a little room.
Put them in there and see what makes you tick, man. What do we need to do?
What do we need? Yeah,
to get
make it a we
to get to where you can be this, because now it's changed. You know, you look at Jordan Washington, transfer portal. Nick Townsend got a lot of love. Amari Winston, we got a lot of conversation about him throughout the years. He's another guy that they're waiting to take that next step. Maybe it was a strength thing. Maybe we don't know. But the opportunities are presented to you now.
Well,
so go and make the most of these opportunities.
Well, I see that right now, the way that you laid that out. Sometimes you have to like do what we in wrestling, we do psych evaluations once a year. They ask you how you feel, like, you know, are you happy here? Like, where do you see yourself in the next 2-3 years? Sometimes these guys need that. You need to get them, hey man, where do you see yourself next season? Like, what are you going to do to get to that next step? Those are things that I don't feel like is a hard thing to do. You just have to allot the time for it. And especially if you look at somebody as being special or having potential to have an effect on your team,
yeah,
you need to evaluate them mentally and see where they are.
Yeah, I mean, because in this day and age,
some people just don't know.
Well, in this day and age, there's always some outside influences as well, because social media, friends and family, making phone calls in your ear. There's just so much that's going on that you're being pulled in this direction, but you're trying to stay here, but everybody's trying to get to you. And yes, your psyche can be kind of thrown off a little bit. So we'll see what ends up happening. But welcome to the 40 Acres.
Welcome
to all the new players at University of Texas. Best of luck to Warren Robertson. Dylan Raiola has committed to Oregon, and Sam Levitt, as I said, has committed to LSU. Coming up next, we're going to talk Houston Texans and that domination in the Steel City. What is next for the Steelers? And more importantly, who do the Texans have up next? Right here on a Turn the Page Tuesday edition of the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on the iHeartRadio app.
The voice of the Horns, Greg Way on 1300 The Zone, weekdays at 2.
Listen to the Bama Brown Experience on the free iHeartRadio app or at BamaBrownPodcast.com.
There's a couple of issues along the service road of I-35 this morning, one old and one new. The newest one is going southbound at 53rd Street. There's still cleanup ongoing for a crash on the service road of I-35 northbound at Stassi Lane, as well as an accident on Palmer Lane, the service road of Highway 290 going westbound. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Abacus Plumbing, Air Conditioning, and Electrical.
Clogged drain? No problem. Abacus makes it 1, 2, 3 easy. They clear the drain, conduct a video inspection, and include a 123-day clog-free guarantee for just $123. No wonder they say Abacus. You can count on us.
Visit abacusplumbing.com.
Contact Tax Relief Helpers for details and restrictions.
Attention, anyone that owes money to the IRS. Every day, your unpaid tax debt gets bigger and bigger from daily interest. The longer you wait, the more you will end up paying. If you owe $10,000 or more, now is the time to settle your debt before the IRS takes aggressive action, like taking your wages or property. A special toll-free number has been established so you can stop penalty fees, avoid liens, levies, or other hostile measures by the IRS. Call Tax Relief Helpers right now.
I got behind on my taxes and owed $48,000. I called and they got my bill lowered to just $3,500.
I owed $87,000 in taxes, and it was scary. I got the amount I owed down to just $3,500. I saved $83,500.
If you owe money to the IRS, don't wait another day. Your tax debt gets bigger and bigger from daily interest. Call right now before the IRS enforces liens, levies, or other aggressive measures. The call and consult are absolutely free. Call now.
Call 800-687-0346. 800-687-0346. That's 800-687-0346.
The misinformation and miscommunication surrounding health and science are almost laughable. So why not laugh about it?
The toilet is like our refuge. Your toilet is your only place where you get to escape.
It's a new year, new start. And the hilarious podcast Health Stuff is taking a new look at health.
This is a show about the basics of health, but this is not a basic show.
Turns out, real health conversations aren't always polite. Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Health Stuff, and listen now.
Second opinions.
You get them with your health.
So why not with your wealth?
Your stock market investments deserve a second opinion.
At Henyon & Walsh, it only takes a second
to schedule your free second opinion.
Go online and search for Henyon & Walsh, the second opinion people. Investing involves risk, including the possible loss of principal. Advisory services provided by Henyon & Walsh Asset Management. Securities offered by Henyon & Walsh Inc. Member FINRA SIPC.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Well, the holidays have come and gone once again, but if you've forgotten to get that special someone in your life a gift, well, Mint Mobile is extending their holiday offer of half off unlimited wireless. So here's the idea. You get it now. You call it an early present for next year. What do you have to lose?
Visit mintmobile.com/radio.
Limited time 50% off regular price for new customers. Upfront payment required. $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds may slow after 50 gigabytes per month when network is busy. See terms.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff, even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone. We cover all 40 acres.
118. Extra offensive lineman in there. Fisher. Here's a little pitch back to Stroud. Looking to air it out. Ball's out. Recovered by Pittsburgh in YA black. And it's 2nd and 3. Fake toss. Wide open. Spinning catch. Kirk touchdown. Strong play and a good catch by Kirk. Ball a little behind him, and the Texans have their first lead of the night. Ball is down on the ground again. Stroud picks it up. Ball is out again. Watts on it. And no signal yet. It belongs to Pittsburgh. Rodgers in trouble. And down he goes. Stroud in trouble. Finds a place to go, and he's picked. Eccles has got it. 3rd down and 12. Rodgers, time runs out. Ball is out. It's picked up by the Texans and Sheldon Rankins. And he is in for a touchdown. They're down and 4. First down, and there he is again. What a night for Christian Kirk. First down and goal, ball back outside the 10 as Marks has his first 100-yard game and takes it into the end zone for a touchdown.
A lot of networks knocking on his door, that's for sure. And if he wants to continue to coach, if he's let go, there'll be a lot of suitors knocking on his door for that as well.
Here's an interception for good measure. It's picked off by Bullock. And Rodgers is in his way, trying to make the tackle. Can't. And it's a touchdown, Texans. It is a 30-6 win for the Houston Texans with a dominating defensive performance. The Steelers are finished, and D'Amico Ryan's Texans are moving on to a date with the New England Patriots. Rodgers' last pass went for a pick 6.
Man, that's unbelievable. The Houston Texans go out and dominate the Pittsburgh Steelers, holding them to 175 yards of total offense. But the story is the defense of the Houston Texans. C.J. Stroud didn't help his case. He was 21 of 32, but he threw an interception, got sacked 3 times, fumbled the ball a bunch, and just didn't look good. Woody Marks goes for 112 yards on the ground, 5.9 per carry. Christian Kirk showed up last night. Of all
we
nights
had a
to show
Christian
up,
Kirk sighting.
That's
We've been
what
waiting
it's
all year
about. And so now the Texans, as you heard, they will now take on the New England Patriots. But man, oh man, kudos to the Houston Texans and what they were able to do, Mark.
Man, I was pleasantly surprised. Not at the defense or, them winning the game the way they won the game. I was surprised that it was not colder. For whatever reason, I thought it was going to be like snow and crossing winds and it would even out. But it didn't matter because the offense didn't have an effect on the offense. It was the defense. The Pittsburgh Steelers looked predictable and slow. Like they could not block any of the blitzes that came through. There were several times where Aaron Rodgers could have run the ball, and he didn't because he realized this is a ball hawking closing defense. I better throw it, get out of my hands. Like they just were not matched up equally. And I don't know if Stroud kind of wilted under the pressure of an on-the-road playoff game. Okay, yes, he did. I thought he did. I didn't want to show a bad light, but Stroud was not a strong point last night. He has got to have more focus and more confidence in his throwing. He looked like a guy that was seeing ghosts. He didn't want to make a mistake, so he made mistakes. They've got to change that.
Well, I'm not going to say he was seeing ghosts. I mean, the defense for the Pittsburgh Steelers is very impressive. Let's not forget, going into the fourth quarter, the score was 7-6. I mean, it was still right there. They still had an opportunity as Pittsburgh did. But when you look at this defense and the turnaround and the moves that they were able to make, they had Aaron Rodgers fighting for his life. Aaron Rodgers looked like R. Kelly when he was doing that interview when he said, "Fight for my life here. I'm fighting for it." That's exactly what Aaron Rodgers looked like under the pressure of that defense. We played yesterday, Daniil Carter and Will Anderson Jr. going after the quarterback and talking about what it's going to be like. And both of those guys showed up yesterday. The edge rushers handled their business. Marcus, you're our resident Houston Texans fan. You represent
smiling.
H. You represent the H to the
smiling
fullest.
In front of us like this.
Is this something that not to this number of 30-6, but you were very, I'm not going to say overconfident, but you were confident that this Houston Texans defense was going to be able to show up.
I was very confident about the defense. I just felt like that pass rush from Hunter and Anderson was just going to harass Rodgers all day. And Jalen Petrie is just like everywhere. He's
Lord.
all over the field. You see that helmet and you run.
Yeah.
But the thing that surprised me actually was Marks.
Yep.
He ran
game.
Yeah, he ran the ball. I think I don't know if he had any games over 100 yards, and he just ran the ball like crazy.
Did you see him run over Patrick Queen?
Yes.
Holy cow.
Put him on his back.
Yep.
You running over linebackers now?
And Kristen Kirk, a Kristen Kirk sighting. I'm just worried about next week because Nico might not be out.
Yeah, because with the concussion protocol or whatever.
Well, they had another wide receiver going concussion protocol too.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. And to your point, C.J. Stroud's going to have to step up. Yes, he had 11 incompletions, but looking at his game overall, it wasn't a 14 QBR like Aaron Rodgers and a 50 rating, 50.8. He had a 62.4 and a 86.7. But the Houston Texans will take on the New England Patriots. Every time the Texans go to New England, I always think about when they wore those doggone Letterman jackets, not Letterman jackets, but the Letterman sweaters.
I'm not here to talk about the past.
And how they got absolutely
Peter roll.
Yeah,
they got
boat
stomped.
raced. Yeah. And so I'm like, man, we gotta be.
Let's
better
just keep
than that.
them from wearing that again. Like I hope they like Kevin Garnett said back in the day. I need you to take all of this outfit, and burn it.
Yeah. It is tough to see. But I was impressed with what we saw from the Houston Texans. Normally at 8:17, we would have Mark Vandermeer, the voice of the Houston Texans, but we are moving him to tomorrow because they got back late and he needs to get some sleep. He was working hard. I know the excitement. I'm sure they were partying on that flight back, but they got to get back to work because they are back on the field on Sunday, and they will be taking on the Patriots 2:00 next Sunday in New England. The Patriots are a 2.5-point favorite as of right now. But let me tell you this, if that defense plays like they played, Drake May is going to have a tough time. If a pro like Aaron Rodgers had the toughest time that he did yesterday against this defense, a second-year starter might be up against it again because DeMeco Ryans, he's ready for the challenge.
Yeah, the defense is ready for the challenge, but we have got to get Stroud to have more confidence and not have the day that he had against the Patriots, because him having the day that he had against the Steelers, against the Patriots, is going to be like Aaron Rodgers facing them.
Yeah.
He's going to be the crux and cause them to lose. He's got to step up.
Yeah, and it's going to be important for him because he's been getting a lot of praise this year. Now he has to set it off and be ready to go for this next matchup. Coming up next, we're going to talk to our guy, Joe Cook of Inside Texas. Get the latest on the 40 acres and all things Texas Longhorns right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on the iHeartRadio app.
Listen to the Bama Brown Experience on the free iHeartRadio app or at BamaBrownPodcast.com.
A stalled vehicle moved out of the main lanes and now blocks off the left shoulder on 290 going westbound at Congress Avenue. There is still cleanup ongoing for an earlier crash on the service road of I-35 northbound at Stassi Lane. And you're pretty slow on I-35 northbound the main lanes from Highway 45 to William Cannon, causing about a 15 to 20 minute delay. I'm Jason Fossey with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Straight Talk Wireless. Don't let data limits hold you back from being the gift master in the family group chat. Switch to Straight Talk Wireless and get real unlimited data on Verizon's 5G network. Straight Talk, available at straighttalk.com or Walmart.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
With Progressive Snapshot, you could save on auto insurance rates by driving safely, which is nice because you can just keep doing you. So keep on using that broken phone charger because it occasionally works. Keep quoting something you heard on a podcast as your own. Keep ignoring your sister's texts while you drive and after. And when baggage claim says, have a great trip, keep on saying, you too. And keep driving safely. And you could save with Snapshot from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
The Texans scored 2 defensive touchdowns, crushed the Steelers 30-6 to win their first road playoff game in franchise history, advanced to the AFC divisional round against the Patriots. Cowboys expected to interview former Cardinals head coach Jonathan Gannon today about their defensive coordinator vacancy. Spurs take on the Thunder tonight in OKC. I'm Rhonda Moss.
This is former Notre Dame quarterback Brady Quinn. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Allstate.
Wish you could save on home insurance? With Allstate, you could easily save and get quality protection. Yep, it's a win-win. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Rock icons, unleashed and on stage.
What song is it you want to hear?
Introducing iHeartRadio's Classic Rock Live.
What a wonderful evening.
Your front row pass to rock's most iconic live recordings, all commercial free. Hear the boss sing to the rafters. Zeppelin set the stage on fire. And feel AC/DC bring the house down. Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Classic Rock Live, and make it a preset now.
I'm Gary Veter, and I have a new limited series podcast called Number One Dad. In the 90s, my dad and I ran a con for years where we snuck into the world's most prestigious arena, New York's Madison Square Garden.
Your dad is the type of person that likes an adventure and likes the possibility of opportunity.
As I got older, I learned this wasn't the only scheme my dad was pulling.
He wants me to act like my injury is even worse for a payout.
He actually represented me. He's posing as my attorney in a court.
There were moments where Manny would assume the role of undercover police officer.
My father's never-ending string of lies ultimately broke apart my family. And at 15 years old, I completely cut him out of my life. That was 24 years ago. But I just had a son of my own, and it brought back tons of memories of my childhood, along with tons of questions I wanted answered. How did my father become this scheming mastermind? Was he like this with everyone? And is it possible, after all these years, he's actually changed? I have no idea where he lives or what he's up to, but my goal with this podcast is to track him down and get to the truth about who my father, Manny Veter, really is. This is Number One Dad. Listen to Number One Dad.
Listen on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and listen now.
Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone presents the Craig Way Show. Join Craig Way weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. only on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
It only means one thing. We get an opportunity to talk to Joe Cook of Inside Texas. You can follow him at Joseph Cook 89. And Joe, National Signing Day was in December, and Texas has now have 22 of the 23 incoming signees on campus as of this weekend. It's got to be a great start for the Texas Longhorns when you can get that many people to come to school that early.
Yeah, and just by practicality, you need those guys with how much movement we see. So it's nice for Steve Sarkisian to know, like, okay, I do have this many guys joining the roster, getting ingratiated and joining in on the program. Some guys who probably have a chance to make some early impacts, even with all the transfer portal additions going on. Jermaine Bishop from Willis may be the most electric playmaker in the class. Two-way threat, could play offense, could play defense. Sounds like he's going to start a little bit on offense, and was one of the players of the year, I think, in the Houston area. That's probably the most exciting player. I'm still pretty excited about Dia Bell. He did miss most of his senior year with an undisclosed injury, but when he wasn't injured, he was a player ranked about as highly as Arch Manning was, about as highly as Quinn Ewers was. So not going to be a player to, he's not going to be asked to probably do all that much this year. May contend with KJ Lacey for a backup spot, or if they bring in another Matthew Caldwell type, maybe he's working just as a scout teamer for most of this year, but still another high-profile quarterback that the Longhorns are able to bring in. And, you just get all those guys in on campus early. You get those guys the opportunity to learn from players who have been on the roster, who have been in college football. We're not sure what spring football is going to look like. I think with last year, one of the reasons spring looked the way that it did was to maybe minimize some reps for guys, so they didn't have the idea that in the spring portal window they could jump in and find a greener pasture. Since this is the one portal window, I'm very curious if we see maybe more traditional spring ball, but that remains to be seen. All the same, those 22 guys hit campus, started class yesterday, and have begun however long their journeys as Longhorns will be. Those journeys have begun.
Yeah, because everything changes, as we all know. I wanted to ask you this because a lot was being made. Texas isn't doing anything in the transfer portal. All we got is a kicker, a punter, and a deep snapper. What are we going to do? And then, boom, Texas drops the hammer and really makes some major moves. Where do you see all of these moves? Obviously, Cam Coleman is the bell cow of this transfer portal area, but what about some of the other guys where the positions of need?
One of the things I really looked closely at was snap counts. Snap counts that left via the portal, and then snap counts that are arriving. And basically, across the board, Texas is either getting a like-for-like snap count replacement with fewer players, or they, the snap counts identify where they have work to do, and that's mainly at linebacker and at offensive line. But basically, Texas is letting a lot of players who either weren't productive or showed flashes, but again, just flashes, letting that they have elected to depart the roster for one reason or another, and they're bringing in replacements who are going to play this year, and who are going to be at the top of the depth chart, getting paid whatever they're paid, as opposed to being maybe third or fourth on the depth chart, getting paid whatever they're paid. I like the running back room with Hollywood Smothers, Rayleigh Brown. I would have loved to have kept Christian Clark. I think Texas put a fair offer on the table for him, but I don't think it was necessarily about money for him. I think with the wide receiver room, Cam Coleman, you get the number one player in the portal, and you unlock a part of the downfield offense that maybe Cam Coleman hasn't even seen because of the average quarterback play at best that he's had the past couple of years. Cornerback, you get Bo Musco. You're losing both your starting corners in Jalen Gilbo and Malik Muhammad. You had some good reps at the end of the year from Cade Phillips and saw some other good stuff from unfortunately Warren Roberson, who's heading to the portal. But you get Bo Musco. You have an experienced, I think honorable mention All Big Ten cornerback. And I think with the portal, we wrote about this the other day, where if you're a high-end program like Ohio State, like Texas, like Oregon, I know our ecosystem is mostly Texas, but during the first portion of that window, schools like that were just getting picked off because it was players who were probably drawing in a lot of money for not very many snaps were told, look, you're going to be either getting this or you're, go find something else elsewhere.
Right.
And if you're a high-end 4-star at a school like that, well, there are a lot of other schools that would take you and put you in the starting lineup right away. So you saw so many departures from the high-end schools. And now that the playing field has kind of revealed itself and leveled, now the high-end schools are starting to, follow through on some of the recruitments that they've been involved in and are seeing the players they want enter the portal and can get targeted. And so I think there was a I want it now aspect of the transfer portal, and there's always going to be that with recruiting and roster addition and free agency as it is, and other schools can have different approaches. But when you're operating at a different part of the sport when it comes to your roster management and what you have on the roster, it's going to look different, and it's starting to look different now as Texas racks up some nice commitments over the past 5-6 days or so.
Joe, when you have a new system like we have with the portal, and it's basically free agency, and you can revamp your whole roster in 1 year, doesn't it play to the advantage of the young kids that are being recruited out of high school to get here early, like the kids did here at Texas?
Yeah, 100%. I think, I've always said that whenever there's a kid who doesn't enroll early, if there's a good reason, I never really care that much. Looking back at Brennan Thompson wanted to win double state championships in the 100 meter and 200 meter. I think Parker Livingstone wanted to play a senior year of baseball or something like that. Yep. Like if there's good reason to enroll or not to enroll early, you know what, that's fine. At a certain point, we got to remember that they're still high schoolers and they're still their senior year, and you're not going to get another last semester with some of your best friends from growing up.
And you can't go to the prom all the time. You know what I'm saying?
I know. Well, apparently you can still go.
Overrated.
But I mean, if you're enrolling early, you're forced to grow up pretty quick. You're in a new stage of life. You have a lot of stuff going on around campus and within the program and people there to make sure that you're doing have access to all the right things, but you got to figure that out yourself. And that's not always easy at 17 or 18, but that's what having 20 others to do it there with you are for. That's what having Tori Becton there is for. To, if I remember right, for basically the first couple of weeks of their time at Texas, all the freshmen are kind of in a different lifting program, or at least a different workout program, because they're getting used to, okay, this is how we, do this exercise this way. This is how we do this exercise this way. I know your linebacker coach taught you how to, deadlift like this, but this is how we deadlift at Texas, stuff like that. It takes some getting used to, and then you just factor in the whole, they are still college students. You got to find where, your English classes, your history classes, you got to know where your academic advisor is. There's so much new going on. And to do that together, and then also to your point, to kind of show what you got, to show maybe this, what if you're a freshman wide receiver who just enrolled and you're, learning from Cam Coleman and seeing what he does in order to be, or see what he doesn't do in order, and not to say that that's what Cam's going to do, but like, what if there's somebody who is a good example and a bad example in the locker room? Like it's so beneficial. And if the benefits outweigh the drawbacks of being able to do something like in your second semester of senior year, everybody, players, coaches, just everybody in the sport kind of seems to benefit from getting enrolled early and starting your career in January instead of in August.
Joe, before we let you go, we're talking to Joe Cook of Inside Texas. You can follow him at Joseph Cook 89. What will be the next position that you believe will be coming to Texas in the transfer portal?
I think at this point it's probably going to be either an offensive lineman or a linebacker. Now, or excuse me, not a linebacker, a defensive end. Someone to maybe kind of follow behind Colin Simmons. They've been looking for someone like that throughout the cycle, no matter whether Zena Umeozulu, who is coming back, said he was coming back no matter who, what was going on. They need to get offensive linemen, and they're still looking for defensive ends. And some of the names that they've had on the lookout for defensive end have signed elsewhere. One did it, I think, at like 10:30 last night, which shows just the crazy time frame of all this. But that's it. And then offensive line, they have one. They're still looking for Dylan Sikorsky, or they have Dylan Sikorsky. They're still waiting on a resolution from Wisconsin's Joe Brunner, which I think is a pretty quiet recruitment. I know he went to Indiana and did not sign there. Still trying to figure out if he's going to make his way to Texas, or if he has made his way to Texas. And then we'll see if Texas gets involved with Jordan Seaton. That was the big name to enter last night from Colorado. I think Texas wants to be involved there. I know On3's reported that Texas wants to be involved there. I don't know how that changes the offensive line, but I do know that, he probably shoots to near the top of the transfer portal player rankings upon his entry.
Well, as always, get over to Inside Texas and On3 for all the latest when it comes to Texas athletics. As always, Joe, we appreciate you. And next week, we'll get to start talking baseball as well.
Oh, yeah, number 3 team. Looking forward to it.
That's right. That's right. There he is, Joe Cook of Inside Texas, breaking it down. When we come back, we're going to continue the conversations. And he's right. Got some news for Texas baseball, but we are going to talk NBA news, notes, and nuggets. I got to ask my man, Mark Henry, a question about one of those players that is out of control. Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on the iHeartRadio app.
Hey there, Texas fans. This is the voice of the Longhorns, Craig Way, inviting you to join us for Longhorn football. Touchdown! Texas wins! We'll bring you all of the action all season long, including in-depth analysis and exclusive access to players and coaches before the opening kick and after the final whistle. And every week, we'll talk with Texas Longhorns head coach Steve Sarkisian on Longhorn Weekly. This is your exclusive source for Texas Longhorn football
on 1300 The Zone.
Listen to the Bama Brown Experience on the free iHeartRadio app or at BamaBrownPodcast.com.
A stout vehicle moved out of the main lanes and now blocks off the left shoulder on 290 going westbound at Congress Avenue. There is still cleanup ongoing for an earlier crash on the service road of I-35 northbound at Stassi Lane. And you're pretty slow on I-35 northbound the main lanes from Highway 45 to William Cannon, causing about a 15 to 20 minute delay. I'm Jason Foster with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Plumbing Outfitters.
Plumbing Outfitters, you can now get an instant water heater quote right on our website. No dispatch fees, no gimmicks, just fast, transparent pricing from a local family-owned company.
Plumbing Outfitters, your guide for all things plumbing.
When the Longhorns hit the hardwood, it's time to grab a Bud Light. It's smooth, it's refreshing, and built for basketball season. That's why Bud Light is the official domestic beer of Texas basketball. Because great games deserve great beer. And we always want to make sure that we have a win in hand. Because Bud Light gets that done. Bud Light, the official domestic beer of Texas basketball. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Please enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Kohl's new clearance markdowns are intense. Up to 70% off is the kind of deal that'll leave you feeling stunned and make you whisper things like, Where have you been my whole life? To a cardigan. Just take a deep breath, steady your cart, and try to act normal. But it's not possible. The savings are just too good. Shop new clearance markdowns now, in-store and online at Kohl's. Select styles, some exclusions apply. See store or kohls.com for details.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
This is Jim. Hello. Jim started advertising with iHeartRadio way back in April. And now,
I have customers out the door.
And this is Sarah.
Hi.
She started putting a portion of her marketing dollars in podcasting back in June.
Business is booming. That's why I'm working on a Saturday.
Want to be like Jim and Sarah? It's easy. All you have to do is own or manage a business and reach out to iHeart. Get started today at 844-844-iHeart or iHeartAdvertising.com.
From the Audio-Visual Consultation Studios, Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KBET AM Austin, your home for the Horns, and the #1 preset in your car and on the free iHeartRadio app.
The following message is about Medicaid and CHIP, free or low-cost health coverage for kids and teens. Enrollment is open year-round.
Hey, voice lady, give me the mic.
Okay.
Hey, DJ, let's switch up the music. That's better. So listen up, moms and dads out there. There are these programs called Medicaid and CHIP. They offer free or low-cost health coverage for kids. Things like doctor and dentist visits, prescriptions, and shots are covered. All the stuff that keeps kids like me healthy and in charge.
So, as you can tell, a covered kid is a confident kid. And it means confident parents, too. To learn more about affordable health coverage for your family, visit healthcare.gov or call 1-877-KIDS-NOW. That's 1-877-543-7669.
Yep, you could do something big for your family today because enrollment is open year-round.
This has been a message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
And Sophia.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone. Hook 'em, Horns.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff. Right here on Sports Radio AM 1300. Joe Cook of the down. Always. Make sure you tune in all day long. Craig will be giving away some tickets as well as we are. That's right, folks. We'll give you a pair of tickets. Right now is your chance to win a pair of tickets to go see the Texas Longhorns take on the Texas A&M Fighting Aggies January the 17th at the Moody Center. All you got to do is get over to AM 1300 The Zone, tap that red microphone, and leave the voice message with the keyword of the day, layup. Layup is the keyword of the day for an opportunity to win a pair of tickets to go see the Texas Longhorns take on the Fighting Aggies of Texas A&M. Be listening all day long as Craig Way and his crew will give you a chance to win more tickets this afternoon. So stay locked in to AM 1300 The Zone and always free on the iHeartRadio app. I wanted to get into this conversation about Ja Morant. Now, Mark, you've talked about Ja Morant multiple times, and now the Memphis Grizzlies have been open to possibly trading Ja Morant. But the stories that are coming out is like Ja Morant is becoming more like Trae Young, which means you're not getting much in a trade value for Trae Young. Matter of fact, a lot of people are still looking at that trade almost like the Luka Doncic trade, and there's not much there. So my question to you is, where does Ja Morant end up?
I think Ja Morant is going to be playing in Europe real soon because nobody wants him. It's like if Trae Young, if you can get Trae Young for a bag of Skittles and some and a Chico stick, what do you think? Ja Morant is the same. He's so much trouble, nobody wants to deal with him.
M&M's.
M&M.
You think you can get a bag of M&M's for him?
Plain or peanuts?
Man, come on now. You can't get that. That's too good.
Plain or peanuts?
Hardge, he's dug a hole for himself. Like all these teams are like, shit, why would we take it?
Yeah.
Why would we take on having this guy come in and ruin the flow of our team in the communities? You got to be very careful what community you send him. You can't send him to New Orleans.
Yeah.
You can't send him to Detroit.
Can't send him to those type of teams.
You know what I'm saying? Like the cities where there's crime and influence and extracurricular activities.
Yeah.
Man, you got to send him to Utah. You know what I'm saying? I know that sounds bad.
No, I don't.
You gotta send him somewhere where there's such a strong veteran discipline team that he'll fall in line. Because he has to. And I don't think that nobody wants to smoke.
Right.
He's dug a horrible hole for himself.
Yeah.
The best thing for him to do is to have a come to Jesus with the team that he's on.
Right.
Guys, I did it my way. My way didn't work. I apologize to the organization. I apologize to y'all. I'm going to do better. Help me do better. I can't do it by myself, obviously. Help me be better.
Right.
If you get that Ja Morant, he might get a second chance where he is. But or you can't trade him and get value.
Well, it's
impossible.
He's got 3 years left on his contract, and it says he's eligible for a 3-year, $178 million extension next year. His salary ranks 28th in the league, but availability has been the problem. He's on pace for the 3rd straight season of under 60 games. That's why he has no value. He's not available. And if you're not available, you can't make the club in the tub, and nobody's going to try to spend that type of money on a guy that's not going to be available.
Yeah, he's going to be at Memphis.
Yeah. When we come back, we're going to continue the conversations. A lot of moves in the NFL are pending, and I've got some questions about a few coaches that might be on the move. We'll continue it right here in hour number 2 of the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on the iHeartRadio app.
Oh, we're gonna be so late for the concert. We should be there by now.
Just need to make a little detour and stop for gas real quick. I know a cheap place down the road.
Are you serious? We're gonna miss the show because you're driving out of the way for cheaper gas? Just use Upside.
What's Upside?
Upside is great. It's a free app that gets you cash back when you buy gas.
Wait, you mean I can get money back just for buying gas? Really?
Yep, and it really works. I've actually made around $200 this year already. Now, pull over so you can download Upside before we miss the concert.
Pulling over? You had me at $200.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back when you buy gas. Use promo code RING to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. You can cash out anytime right to your bank or as a gift card. Download Upside and use promo code RING for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code RING for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. Use promo code RING.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Every Olympic dream starts with a first glide. Through Learn to Skate USA, kids build confidence, strength, and joy on the ice. Learn to Skate USA offers programs for skaters of all ages and abilities. Find a program near you at learntosskateusa.com.
The deals are heating up at Group 1 Ford of South Austin, home of transparent pricing and no dealer add-ons. Lease a new Ford Bronco Sport Big Bend for just $329 a month with zero down. Or lease a new Ford Explorer for $429 a month with zero down. 36-month lease terms. Bronco Sport MSRP $33,690. Explorer Active MSRP $42,940 before discounts. For well-qualified buyers with approved credit. First payment due at signing. See dealer for details. Ends 2/2/26.
Hi, I'm Michael from the War and Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
At Heartland Steakco, they take their bacon seriously, from their double smoked hickory to their honey jalapeno, which brings sweet and spicy together for the perfect combination, to their all-new bacon flavors like whiskey peppercorn with its smoky richness, to their applewood double smoked bacon that's smoked over real applewood chips. Ordering is easy at heartlandsteakco.com. And right now, when you spend $199.99 or more, you'll get free shipping plus 2 pounds of bacon with promo code BACON. Taste the Heartland difference.
Want to save some money in 2026? Stop paying for apps you don't need. The iHeartRadio app is completely free. Live radio stations, music playlists for everything, and the most podcasts on the planet. The number one app for radio is free. iHeartRadio. Listen now.
We asked kids what it took to be a dad. This is what they had to say.
A father is always present. I mean, what real father figure can you have if they're not there?
In order to be a good dad, you need to love your son. You need to put gas in your car so you don't break down in the middle of nowhere. And you need to make them breakfast. Yep.
I mean, just to maybe play like a board game with me, or to just stay home and play some video games with me. Just to do like that one little thing is what I really look forward to.
I'm not asking him to be a perfect dad, but he should try. He's just a constant force in my life.
There's no other type of love like a dad's love because it's not comparable to anything else.
Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
From the Audio Visual Consultation Studios, Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin, your home for the Horns, and the number one preset in your car and on the free iHeartRadio app.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns, 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on the iHeartRadio app. In hour number 1, we talked about Texas being ranked high as number 2 in the transfer portal news, but it giveth and it taketh away. As soon as you get more players in, another player decides he wants to get into the transfer portal, and Warren Roberson decided that it was time for him to test the waters in the portal. Dylan Raiola, former quarterback of the Nebraska Cornhuskers, is now on his way to Oregon. Now you wait and see what's happening with Dante Moore. We also talked about the Houston Texans going up and handling their business against the Pittsburgh Steelers, pulling away in the fourth quarter to a 30-6 victory. We also talked to Joe Cook of Inside Texas, and we just finished conversation about the NBA and Ja Morant. But the NFL is a what have you done for me lately league, and news is out there that there may be some changes coming up with a lot of these coaches. Obviously, you see a guy like John Hardball being moved after everything had happened, and now he's looking for work. You look at all the coaching vacancies that are out there, rumors about Cliff Kingsbury and the possibility of him going to the Ravens. What about John Harbaugh possibly taking that job in New York as the Giants head coach? There's so much to unravel, but I want you to hear from Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin was asked about his coaching future and what he thinks about all of this, and we're still not sure what's going to happen with him.
I'm not even in that mindset as I sit here tonight. I'm more in the mindset of what transpired in this stadium and, certainly what we did and didn't do. Not a big picture mentality to sit here tonight.
Not a big picture mentality that you will see here tonight. That's interesting to me. And the only reason why I say it's interesting is because Mike Tomlin is never at a loss for words. He's always had something to say about himself and what the Pittsburgh Steelers mean to him. And we talked about this a little bit earlier. When you start to look at Mike Tomlin and the expectations in Pittsburgh, now, obviously, not having a losing record, that means something. He's a Hall of Fame coach. He's won the Super Bowl. He's done so much. We talked about Cowher and his players, and that's probably how Mike won it with Cowher's players. Doesn't matter. But he continued to win every single season, never had a losing season. But as I said, it's a happy-go-lucky, what have you done for me lately league. And one thing that Mike Tomlin has not done is won playoff games. True. One playoff game. He's lost 7 straight playoff games. Is the moment, is everything stale in Pittsburgh? Or is it, hey, man, relax? They got to make some kind of changes. They've got to change from that old school, we're just a defensive team. We're going to 3 yards in a cloud of dust and be able to do that. You have no playmakers on the outside. DK Metcalf got feet for hands, cannot catch anything. Then you look at what all of their passes were behind the line of scrimmage, basically, or right at the line of scrimmage. What has to change in Pittsburgh for them to get over the hump?
They have to allocate the monies that they spend on defense on offense. They put the emphasis on the defense, and they look at the cornerbacks. Look at they brought in Ramsey. They gave all this money to these guys on defense.
Ramsey is now playing safety. You know what I'm saying? Like, things have changed quite a bit.
Hardge, I don't know. The only thing I can think of is, change that dynamic from the defense to the offense. And you know what? I don't know where the Steelers are drafting. Do they their first round pick? I don't know where it is. Probably right after the Cowboys, somewhere in there. They need to get a quarterback. Like, Aaron Rodgers is not the answer. He was a stopover.
He definitely can't come back.
They put all their eggs in that basket, and I was going to talk about this in my World's Strongest Take, but you know what? I'll change. We'll talk about it now. Aaron Rodgers was so demonstrative in his disgust when people dropped the ball or didn't catch the ball or they didn't run the right route. And he just did all of these hand gestures and rolling his eyes and like, I don't want to play with that guy. And guys are not playing for him. They playing with him because they have to. They're getting paid to, but they're not playing for him. And when he fumbled the ball or he didn't take off running and try to stick his nose in there and get the first down, you didn't see the other players going, oh, come on, man. That's why he's failed in his career, is because of that. Not having people play for him. Now, he always tried to bring the guys that he really liked with him wherever he went. He did it with the Jets. He did it in Pittsburgh when he first got there, because those guys knew how he operated and they can deal with him and tolerate him. But everybody else, Hardge, they don't like him. If you ask 90% of the people in football about Aaron Rodgers, they start with, oh my God. That's how they start. It's like Reggie Jackson in baseball. You mention Reggie Jackson, everybody go, oh my God, that guy.
Does everybody or just Mark Henry?
No, everybody I've ever met. Ask Craig Way how he feels.
Oh, I've heard from Craig.
Okay, I'm just saying.
What did they say?
If you make Craig Way not respect you, you're a bad human.
So
you're a bad human.
As they said, so you met Reggie.
So that's what CC Sabathia said to me.
So to answer your question, the Pittsburgh Steelers have the 21st pick, the pick right after the Dallas Cowboys. You are correct.
So they need to get a quarterback. And you know what, man? Chambers he should just go ahead and love himself and go in the draft and not try to lobby for another year in the NFL. If he can get a guarantee that one of these teams will draft him in the later round, in the latter part of the first round, he needs to go. So, but I'm just saying, get back to the Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh. That's a failed experiment. It's over with. I don't care if Aaron Rodgers wakes up tomorrow and go, guys, let's run it back. No would be my answer. But you got to figure out what they're going to do with Tomlin. They got a witch party with burning steaks at the airport waiting on him to get back. Like I don't think they want him. So it's a lot to be figured out with this Pittsburgh Steelers situation. There's Pittsburgh Steelers bars here in Austin. Yeah. I'd like to go to one and see what people feel like should happen. Because you got to ask the fans. Ask them what they want. Because the ownership, they've always acquiesced to their fans. They love making sure their fans are happy. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm looking at this team a little bit different. I think that obviously they definitely need to move on from Aaron Rodgers and whatever else is out there. But the one thing that I'm trying to figure out is what position or what free agent can they go after and make it worth it to them, because that offense is bad. That's a bad offense. I don't care how good the Houston Texans defense is. That offense was horrible last night. There were too many drop passes. They couldn't get open. I know that Stingley and Kwame Lassiter are bona fide stars in the league. They will lock you up, but your tight end wasn't getting open. Your backs out of the backfield, they weren't able to get open. There was not a lot happening for that offense. And like I said,
couldn't run the ball either.
You get in the
both
red
tight
zone,
ends
you couldn't do nothing.
sucked.
Yeah, it was
Five
bad.
Muth caught one pass, and Juju Smith, he didn't do good either.
Yeah,
like they just failed this year.
Yeah, so I can't wait to see what's going to happen next, because of the fact that this team has done everything that they possibly can. They took a chance to dance with the devil, and it did not work out for them. They got into the playoffs. They did what they needed to do to get into the playoffs, but just getting in becomes something that's just not enough anymore. So it'll be interesting to see where this coaching carousel ends. And I know I said LaFleur might be going somewhere. They talked about it. They're having a meeting to try to sign an extension with LaFleur, which I'm really shocked about that as well. When we come back, we're going to talk NFL, and the playoffs are right around the corner. Divisional round is set. The Bills, Broncos, Niners, Seahawks, Texans, Patriots, and Rams, Bears. Who you with? Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone, and always free on the iHeart Radio app.
Join Craig Way weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m.
We're Madison Square Garden. Well, Dick Vitale would come in. Craig, it's good to see you. How are you? It's awesome with a capital A. I think Rick Barnes has an outstanding team. I said, Dick, I appreciate the time. Thanks very much. Rick, it's great to see you. I hear Dan Schulman, who's doing the play-by-play, goes, you realize you just called Craig Rick? He goes, Craig, wait, you got to let me straighten it out. You got to give me another chance. Let me fix it.
Hang out with Craig on AM 1300, The Zone.
Now here's your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Happy. That's happy. Enter it now.
AM 1300 The Zone.
Listen to the Bama Brown Experience on the free iHeart Radio app or at BamaBrownPodcast.com.
Watch out for a stalled vehicle in the left center lane on Highway 71 westbound at FM 973. It's causing a 15-minute slowdown. There's also a crash on I-35 northbound at William Cannon Drive, causing a 20-minute backup from Highway 45. And a wreck on Mopac southbound at Spicewood Springs moved over to the right shoulder. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
Don't miss out on South by Southwest this March. Volunteer to secure your badge and join us for the world's largest gathering of the creative community. Just by offering your time, get access to screenings, conference programming, and music showcases. Attend the volunteer call on Sunday, January 25th at Fair Market on East 5th Street, anytime between noon and 4 p.m. Learn more at sxsw.com/VOL. That's sxsw.com/VOL. Act today and don't miss out on South by Southwest this March.
Well, the holidays have come and gone once again, but if you've forgotten to get that special someone in your life a gift, well, Mint Mobile is extending their holiday offer of half off unlimited wireless. So here's the idea. You get it now. You call it an early present for next year. What do you have to lose?
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Limited time 50% off regular price for new customers. Upfront payment required. $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds may slow after 50 gigabytes per month when network is busy. See terms.
The misinformation and miscommunication surrounding health and science are almost laughable. So why not laugh about it?
The toilet is like our refuge. Your toilet is your only place where you get to escape.
It's a new year, new start. And the hilarious podcast Health Stuff is taking a new look at health.
This is a show about the basics of health, but this is not a basic show.
Turns out, real health conversations aren't always polite. Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Health Stuff, and listen now.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Millions of people move every year for all kinds of reasons. When that time comes, it helps to go with a company you can trust. Penske Truck Rental. Their trucks are clean, newer, well-maintained, and you get free unlimited miles on one-way rentals. And there's no fee if you want to change your reservation. They've got over 2,500 locations and live support around the clock. Penske helps you gain ground like no other company can. Go to PenskeTruckRental.com or download the Penske Truck Rental app.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Look up, look down, look around, look up, look down, look around. In the trees and on the ground, 'cause the ALB must be found.
If you're hearing this, you should be concerned about the Asian longhorn beetle, an invasive species that's destroying our trees. But you can help. Look for the signs and help stop the beetle.
Look up, look down, look around, look up, look down, look around. In the trees and on the ground, 'cause the ALB must be found.
Some signs of the ALB are dime-sized holes on tree trunks, a sawdust-like material called frass, and the beetle itself, with a long black body and white spots.
Look up, look down, look around, look up, look down, look around. In the trees and on the ground, 'cause the ALB must be found.
Learn all the signs and how to report them at AsianLonghornedBeetle.com. That's AsianLonghornedBeetle.com.
Coach Sark here. 1300 The Zone is your flagship home for the Texas Longhorns.
Welcome back to the morning AM 13. Next segment, we will have our guy Mark bringing you his world on take and so much more. Right now, I was going to get into the NFL and the expectations implications of some of these jobs. And more importantly, my question to Mark is, when you look at these matchups, right off the top of your head, you got the Buffalo Bills traveling to take on the Texas Broncos. Then you have the 49ers taking on the Seahawks. Those games will be on Saturday. Bills and Broncos at 3:30, and the Niners and Seahawks at 7. And then Sunday, you have the Texans taking on the Patriots. The Patriots are 2.5-point favorites. And then the Rams are a 4-point favorite on the road taking on the Bears. But when you look at that Buffalo Bills and Broncos game, after watching how the Bills, they struggled. They struggled against Jacksonville. Shout out to Jacksonville and what they were able to put on film. What are your thoughts in that first game with Buffalo and the Broncos? Broncos chilling at home right now.
Hardge, I didn't see enough from Buffalo for them to beat the Broncos. The Broncos are a better defense. They're more structured defense. And Josh Allen is not going to be able to run free nilly-willy like he did against everybody else. And there's about 3 of those defenses, and the Texans are one of those defenses as well, that would make Josh Allen one-dimensional. Look, we're going to make him throw to beat us. He's not going to run it. And I don't see them beating the Broncos.
And then what about the night game with the Niners and the Seahawks? They wanted them. The Niners said, I want the Seattle Seahawks.
Listen, you think you want them. That's false vibrato.
Oh.
Like, you don't want them. That defense is incredibly solid. And who's going to cover what's his name? Jackson Jigba.
Smith and Jigba.
I just want to see if you can say the name.
Jigba. I forgot
Smith
the
and
Smith.
Jigba. Jackson Smith and Jigba.
That guy, he can be covered.
Yeah.
But it's very difficult, and I don't think that they have what it takes to get it done. I'm gonna go with Seattle. I know I gave Pittsburgh the nod over. Marcus is just smiling all hard and everything. I gave him the kiss of death. But I think that
they appreciate you.
This is not gonna be one of those cases. Man, they just have too much, man. And you see how they tested the Rams a week ago? Like, wow, what a game that was. And I don't think that score for score that San Francisco can do that with them.
Yeah, that's a big number, 7.5, especially when you're playing a divisional opponent. So the winner of this game has the possibility of playing the winner of that. They will play the winner of the Rams and the Bears, and that puts it all NFC West. That division was the best division in football anyway, all year long. And you look at it and you're like, wow, this could be an interesting matchup. I just don't see 7.5 being a number that the Seattle Seahawks can keep against the 49ers. I don't see the 49ers letting that happen because it's a divisional game. They know each other so well. I know the Seahawks are one of the most elite teams. That's why they have the number 1 seed. But when you have the number 1 seed and you still have Sam Darnold, is Sam Darnold going to revert back? You know how we always talk about other quarterbacks and the shoe dropping on them?
Yeah.
Can Sam Darnold continue to move at an elite pace? I'm not sure.
I think the biggest thing is Sam Darnold was hamstrung by the fact that he didn't have a dominant running game.
Yes, I'm with you on
and
that.
Now you have 2 guys, Charbonnet and Walker, that can get 4 yards a carry.
Yep.
And they don't get tired because they have so much depth.
Yep.
Like, it's just hard. They got too much balance.
Yep.
And what people are really hearing from you guys, especially from you, Hardge, go talk to your cousin this weekend.
So my cousin is really already on this.
Oh, he on it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
7.5 is just too big of a number.
Is that Vegas just baiting everybody?
No, because I think they
or
would have
they
made
just
it.
that good?
I think they would have made it smaller if they're baiting people, because that number is just too doggone big. I don't know. But you look at the Patriots and you look at the Texans. We just saw the Texans last night, and maybe it's just because we saw them last night. They are in a great spot. They defensively, offensively, to your point, Mark, they've got to play a little bit better. They got to play well enough, because, as I said, going into that fourth quarter, the score was 7-6. I mean, it was still a ball game going into that fourth quarter, and then they go out and score 23 points.
You mean the Texans?
Right.
If C.J. Stroud plays better, then you have something.
Yeah.
He just didn't play well.
Yeah, he didn't play to the best of his abilities. He put the ball in harm's way quite a bit, but I don't see CJ doing it back-to-back games. He's been on the road. He's played well. I just think he just had a bad night last night, and the defense was able to bail him out. Over-under is 40.5. Probably take the under on that, because they believe in both of these defenses, and they saw exactly what you saw last night with CJ playing bad.
It's hard.
It is. I want to roll with the Texans, but Patriots, because they're at home. Gotta go with it. Sorry, Marcus. Yeah, it's not intentional.
We practiced that, by the way.
It ain't intentional, bro. And then you look at the Rams and the Bears. This is the Ram. Now, we always talk about the shoe about to drop. Can the Bears come from behind in 9 straight games?
Not against the Rams.
Against this team with Matthew Stafford, who is one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL when it's time to make a play and come from behind. Caleb Williams has made some unbelievable throws. He looks amazing. And we talked about this. The Ben Johnson effect for Caleb Williams has changed the dynamic of the way that people are viewing this fingernail polish wearing quarterback that continues to make big
Why
plays.
you keep going back to that?
Because a lot of people keep talking about it, so especially on my thread. But you start looking at what they've been able to do. They've run the ball well. Look, does Roschon Johnson even play anymore?
Is he still there?
Yes, he was standing in the front line like Jacob the other day when the coach was talking. He was
I'm
right
still
there.
here, Coach. Whenever you need me.
I was like, is Roschon on the team? And sure enough,
there he is
right there, because they've been using the other backs so much that
know.
he hasn't been, and maybe that's the Ben Johnson effect. Maybe Ben Johnson decided, hey, I need a little bit more. So I'm sure Roschon is doing some stuff on special teams, or he's injured, because I went and looked at the stats during the game. He's only played in 2 games this year. 2 games. And I'm like, what? This guy was scoring all the touchdowns for you last year, and now we're sitting here trying to figure out what's happening. But Swift has done a great job coming out of the backfield.
Bijan North.
Hello. And so I'm just curious to what's going to happen with this team. It says that he's still injured, and he had injured his thumb. That's why he wasn't playing.
Okay.
So I'm still trying to figure out. I was like, man, is he still on the squad?
Hey, you break your thumb, man. You can't hold on to the ball, because everybody, as soon as you enter that pile, everybody's going for your hand.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's best to just go and sit it out.
So let me ask you this, and I'm going to go back to this conversation right here. Looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers, the loss yesterday, the way that they lost, is Mike Tomlin at a crossroads for himself? Does he make the decision?
Yes, I hope so. I said that to you yesterday. I hope he makes the decision to say, you know what? Nothing I do.
18 years.
Nothing I do. I'm not going to leave this on the Rooney family to fire me. I am going to accept the job at X team. There's openings out there. And he needs to take one of those teams and do the best he can with them.
We'll see what ends up happening.
Get out of Pittsburgh while you can.
As the coaching carousel turns. Coming up next, you get to hear from the world's strongest man as he brings you his world's strongest take. Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on the iHeartRadio app.
Listen to the Bama Brown Experience on the free iHeartRadio app or at BamaBrownPodcast.com.
Watch out for a stalled vehicle in the left center lane on Highway 71 westbound at FM 973. It's causing a 15-minute slowdown. There's also a crash on I-35 northbound at William Cannon Drive, causing a 20-minute backup from Highway 45. And a wreck on Mopac southbound at Spicewood Springs moved over to the right shoulder. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Refresh your bathroom with big savings at Lowe's. Reimagine your bathroom and get up to 40% off select faucets during Lowe's Bath Savings event and transform your space while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Need a reason to call Thomas J. Henry Law after a car accident? How about $1 billion? Because Thomas J. Henry Law fights even when the insurance company says your claim is worth nothing. Thomas J. Henry doesn't back down. That's how we put over $1 billion in our clients' pockets in just the last 4 years. And why we're one of the largest personal injury law firms in Texas. Car accident? Visit thomasjhenrylaw.com. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. Principal office, San Antonio.
At Henna Chevrolet, the price you see is the price you get. Like a 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500 LT with $15,000 off MSRP. No required dealer accessories when you arrive. No market adjustments. And we have over 40 lenders competing for your business. And when banks compete, you save. That's why Henna is Austin's favorite Chevy dealership. For a lower price made easy. Together, let's drive at Henna Chevrolet or Henna.com.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
From the ABA Heating and Cooling Weather Center, this is Zone Weather.
Your Austin weather, some rain this morning, sunshine in the afternoon, a high of 62 for your Tuesday. Slight chance of a shower this evening, a low of 46. Wednesday, sunshine, a high near 70, a low in the upper 30s.
This report is sponsored by Abacus Plumbing, Air Conditioning, and Electrical.
Need an AC company you can count on? Call Abacus. From tune-ups to repairs and the latest indoor air quality solutions, Abacus can do it all. Now get 0% financing for 60 months on select Linux systems. If you want the best, call Abacus. You can count on us.
Jesus didn't live passively. He lived on a rescue mission. As we step into the new year, the Daily Pursuit with Tim Tebow podcast reminds us that God has called us to more, to live on purpose and rise as conquerors. As followers of Christ, we're called to do the same because discipline may be painful in the moment, but it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace. Open your free iHeartRadio app, search The Daily Pursuit with Tim Tebow, and listen now.
Peekaboo. Peekaboo. Smile.
Smile, buddy.
Come on, smile. Oh, honey, he's still not smiling.
Maybe he's not a smiler.
Yeah, maybe he's just not a happy baby.
Maybe he's just being a boy. You know how boys are.
Or maybe he's teething. Oh, poor baby. I think his gums hurt.
Maybe he's just tired.
Or maybe his tummy hurts. He didn't eat that much.
Maybe he's not ticklish.
You think maybe he's scared of the dog?
Maybe he'll outgrow it. Maybe it's a phase. Maybe he just doesn't like smiling.
Maybe he has autism, and we can definitely do something to help.
Maybe is all you need to find out more about autism. No big, joyful smiles by 6 months is one early sign. Learn the others at autismspeaks.org/signs or see a doctor today for an autism screening. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better. And it can make a lifetime of difference. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Sports Radio 1300, The Zone. Our blood runs orange.
You heard him. It's the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Hall of Famer, Mark Henry. His world's strongest take. Take it away, big fella.
Hard.
What's up?
You know what time it is?
No, I don't. What's up?
It's time for the world's strongest take by the world's strongest man. My guess, break that smile off your face. We know this. Back then they didn't know me. Now I'm hot. It's a two-headed monster today, guys. I want to jump into Texas men's basketball first. My take is that the University of Texas men's basketball proved to their coach that they can. And if you can once, you can do it again. Now there's going to be guys held to the standard of, no, I saw you do it before. So you can do it again. And we're going to do it again against Tennessee. We're going to do it again against Auburn and all of the other teams in the SEC that they're going to face in the up and coming weeks. And that's my take on men's basketball. They did a lot better. They did all the fundamental things. They only had 7 turnovers. They didn't foul every trip down court. If you can do it once, you can do it again. And on to the women. I don't want the alarm to be set that, okay, Texas is we're hitting a rough patch, because I don't think the women are going to hit a rough patch. Yes, they have South Carolina coming up. And they shouldn't be in a place where you play LSU and South Carolina back-to-back in the first place. They got to do a better job of structuring, and that's nothing to do with the team and the coach. The league has got to do a better job of that. But Rory Harmon, who everybody knows I'm her biggest fan. I love her general leadership, if you will. The effect that she has on her team. She had a bad game. We all had them. Hard, you had some bad games, didn't you?
Of course.
I had a few, guys. It happens.
I had a bad game yesterday.
Oh, yeah, I heard. But, guys, there will be a bounce back effect. And the greats, which I consider her one of the greats, when they fail, they go out of their way to prove to the coach, their team, the fan base, and mostly and most importantly, themselves, that no, I'm not going to take a step back. I'm better than this. And I think that Rory will do that against South Carolina. What say you?
Well, the South Carolina game, since that's where we just finished off, that's a big matchup because Texas has already beaten South Carolina this year. So it is going to be a challenge for them. They're going to their home court. And, yeah, I mean, Texas just had a bad game. I mean, Vic talked about it. The players talked about it. Vic called them selfish at times during that matchup. Not that South Carolina matchup, but the previous matchup that they just had against LSU. He called it, selfish, and they only lost by 5. This is a good women's basketball team, even though the rankings moved them down to number 4, which I thought was ridiculous because some of the teams that are in front of them, they beat. So you look at that and you're like, wait a minute, they only lost 1 game. How are you putting other teams ahead of them? They could have stayed at number 2 that they beat. So it's going to be a big-time matchup Thursday night, 6 o'clock. You can hear it all right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300. The Zone are always free on the iHeartRadio app. But the Texas men, they got the biggest challenge yet. This is a big matchup against an undefeated Vanderbilt team that will come in here tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone. You start looking at this team, and to your point, if you've done it good once, you can do it good again, but you also have to dial in and lock in and know what your roles are. I'm going to continue to harp on that. If you understand what is being asked of you and you can go out there and perform, I don't expect Jordan Pope to go out there and get 28 points again in the game. I expect him to come out and be consistent. I expect him to show up and be around that. But the Commodores, this is a team that handled Texas last year at home in Vanderbilt, in Nashville. I was at the game. My family and I flew to the game to go watch that. And we were disappointed because of the way that the team executed or lack thereof. And those are the things that this Texas basketball team has to pride themselves on. Number one, coach wants them to play great defense. I get that.
Yeah.
But you got to pride yourself on execution and making sure that the plays that are being called are the plays that are being run.
Preach.
I know that your job, Mark, is to stop me from being able to do what I need to do on the offensive end. But I got to find a way to make it work.
Right.
And others have to be able to step up. Other people have to step up as well.
Yeah, and you have to do that. You notice that guys played a lot of minutes in this game that Texas beat Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of minutes. There were a lot of guys that Coach Miller did not play. You don't want to be on that list. You don't want to be on that list, Hardge.
Yep.
Because that's him saying, listen, I'm going to cut out the liabilities. Don't be a liability.
Yep.
Like, whatever you got to do to prove yourself at practice and get back into playing grace, you better do it. Or enter the portal, whatever you got to do, because I really do feel like this is the crossroads for Texas.
Yep.
He's going to narrow it down. If he has to play 8, he'll only play 8.
Oh, for sure. Yep.
And that's what it looked like. I'm looking at only 6, 7, 8, 9 guys played.
Yeah.
You don't want that. You don't want that. So, guys, get it together.
Yep.
You can do it again.
Texas,
I'm with you.
Texas has 3 coaches that were named to the Silver Waves Media 100 most impactful high major college list. The coaches are Adam Cohen, Yerlik Malakji, and David Miller. All 3 of those guys have been around the game for a long, long time. Cohen has been coaching for 18 years. Malakji's been coaching for 19. And, of course, Miller has been coaching for 13. So there's a lot of college experience on that bench, and they're going to continue to get the most out of these kids. Coming up in the next segment, Texas women fall to number 4, but Texas baseball on the rise as D1 baseball ranks all the teams, and Texas should be excited for their baseball season.
Here we go.
Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on the iHeartRadio app.
Texas basketball is back on the hardwood, and AM 1300 The Zone is your home for every bucket. How about Pope for 3? How about it? Every dunk. Now drives. Baseline goes up with a 2-handed jam. Oh, and a throwdown. Every heart-stopping moment.
Come on, drives in. Off the glass. Good. It's good. Here's Taylor, 2 seconds. Launches from midcourt. Off the rim. No good. Texas wins the game.
All season long on The Zone.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
All lanes are back open after a stall cleared on Highway 71 westbound at FM 973, but just past that spot at Spirit, Texas is a new accident that got moved over to the right shoulder. You're also looking about a 20-minute slowdown caused by a wreck on I-35 northbound at William Cannon Drive. Delays start from Highway 45. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
Hardge here, and the new year is rolling in at Covert Chevy Hutto. If 2026 is about fresh starts and bigger moves, it's time to upgrade what you drive. Right now, start the year strong with $15,000 off MSRP on a new 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500. Or cruise into the new year in style with $5,198 off MSRP on a new 2025 Chevy Blazer 2LT. See dealer for details. New year, new ride, real Chevy power. That's Covert Chevy Hutto, right off of Highway 79. CoverChevyHutto.com. Together, let's drive.
Hi, I'm Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, America's largest family law firm. During this time of year, difficult relationships sometimes become impossible. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. CordellCordell.com.
Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Introducing True Earnings Checking from Austin Telco Federal Credit Union. Earnings that are almost too good to be true. Earn 5% APY on balances up to $15,000. It's simple. Just deposit at least $1,500 in new money and make 15 debit card transactions each month. No minimum balance, no monthly fees. Even if you miss the requirements. Open your account online or at any of our 24 Austin area locations. Visit atfcu.org to learn more. Rates subject to change without notice. Federally insured by NCUA.
These days, it's getting harder and harder to trust what you're seeing. Who made it? Is it real? But with iHeart, everything you hear is guaranteed human. That's why 78% of listeners trust their favorite radio hosts' product recommendations. And if you own or manage a business here or need to drive sales, that trust goes a long way in creating your future customers. Make iHeartMedia a part of your 2026 plan today. Visit iHeartAdvertising.com. Again, that's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Contact Tax Relief Helpers for details and restrictions.
Attention, anyone that owes money to the IRS. Every day, your unpaid tax debt gets bigger and bigger from daily interest. The longer you wait, the more you will end up paying. If you owe $10,000 or more, now is the time to settle your debt before the IRS takes aggressive action, like taking your wages or property. A special toll-free number has been established so you can stop penalty fees, avoid liens, levies, or other hostile measures by the IRS. Call Tax Relief Helpers right now.
I got behind on my taxes and owed $48,000. I called and they got my bill lowered to just $3,500.
I owed $87,000 in taxes and it was scary. I got the amount I owed down to just $3,500. I saved $83,500.
If you owe money to the IRS, don't wait another day. Your tax debt gets bigger and bigger from daily interest. Call right now before the IRS enforces liens, levies, or other aggressive measures. The call and consult are absolutely free. Call now.
Call 800-687-0346. 800-687-0346. That's 800-687-0346.
It's a new year, and Aleve is here to help you keep your New Year's resolutions on track. Whether it's a daily walk, hitting the gym, or spending more time with friends and family, Aleve's got your back. With up to 12 hours of body pain relief per dose, Aleve keeps you moving with long-lasting body pain relief so you can chase those dreams and achieve your goals. Don't let body pain slow you down. Keep going with Aleve, because this year is your year. Try Aleve. Use as directed for minor aches and pains.
Longhorns basketball plays here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
A great show to start off with. Make sure that you get over to the podcast page wherever you get your podcast. And, of course, we need you to make sure that you lock in all day. Make this your home as Texas baseball continues to be Texas baseball. We're the home of Texas baseball. We're the home of Texas basketball. We're the home of all things Texas Longhorns. So lock in and enjoy. Speaking of Texas baseball, in 2025, their final ranking was number 17. Well, to start the season, they come in as the preseason number 3 ranked team after going 44 and 14 last year and winning the SEC conference in their inaugural season. The Texas Longhorns, the SEC regular season, Texas Longhorns come in as the number 3 ranked team of the year in the preseason poll, brought to you by D1 Baseball.
I'm excited to have Coach Schlossnick on again.
Yes, he will be. That starts back up on the 20th. Coach Schlossnagle will be having his regular scheduled conversations with us, on the 22nd. The 22nd will be the day that we start the conversation with Coach Schlossnagle. They debut in Perfect Game as the number 8 ranked team, and they also got some guys that got some preseason love. Perfect Game gave Dylan Volantis, Carson Tenney, the transfer catcher, and Aiden Robbins, the transfer outfielder, all have been named to first team, second team, and third team as the season is upon us. I'm telling you right now, if you hadn't got a chance to go, didn't go to some of those preseason games that they played at the Dell Diamond and at the Dish, you missed out on seeing Carson Tenney, the catcher, Gold Glove catcher from last year. He was one of the most deadly people out there and making things happen. So I'm excited to see what he's going to do. And, of course, we've got the 6'2" outfielder from Seton Hall, Aiden Robbins is an absolute stud. He can swing it. So we're excited for this baseball season to happen. It's coming up. All baseball starts with the alumni game, January the 31st. It's a Saturday. They'll also have their ladies' night the night before where you can go in. Oh, yeah, coming in to have a good time. But then they kick the season off against UC Davis, February the 13th at Dish Falk Field. So make sure you're locked in for Texas baseball. We'll also have our guy Zach Sim on from Orange Bloods starting on those Fridays, as well as we preview all those big-time matchups that Texas will be having coming up soon.
You know what? I'm excited. I'm excited that, we're going to be able to see our guys from Round Rock Express, Dell Diamond out there tomorrow. I'm excited for that.
How you put the Dell Diamond into this conversation?
Because it's baseball. I love baseball.
How we start talking about
we're going to talk that baseball.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be talking baseball. Excited about that and looking forward to all of that. Also tonight, they get their third chance at this. OKC versus San Antonio. San Antonio will be traveling to the OKC Thunder. That game will tip off tonight. I'm curious about this game, only in the fact that can they answer the bell when it comes? Can OKC figure out the San Antonio Spurs?
I don't think so. I think sometimes you have matchups that just don't benefit you, and they have no answer for Wemby. Their guards match up with the guards, and there's no other team in the league that has 4 guards that can match up with the guards that play for the Oklahoma City Thunder. And even when you take Shai Gilgeous out of the game, they have other guards that are first-round picks that are just as good. Well, not just as good as Shai, but they're pretty darn good. Not against San Antonio, because when they go to their bench, they have Harper, they have Jones Garcia, they have Champagne, Like
they got
Keldon
Johnson.
They got guys.
They got Keldon Johnson coming off the bench too.
And Keldon Johnson, he plays small forward and power forward at times.
Yep.
So like you can't just muscle him around. So when you put what's the Texas A&M guy Caruso out there?
Yep.
He's got people that match up with him. Like they just as big and strong as for a guard as he is.
Well, OKC is favored by 7.5 in this game at home.
Listen, call your cousin and tell him that I got 32 smooth, brand new, shiny dimes that I'm willing to bet that the San Antonio Spurs is going to keep it within 7 points.
$3.20 is not going to pay well when it's.
Hey, that's all I got, brother. Hey, I gamble more than that. My wife's going to be like, what are you doing?
Also tonight, you got the Bulls at the Rockets. The Rockets are 22-14, 11-2 at home. They are a 13.5-point favorite in that matchup. Last night, you saw the Dallas Mavericks show up and show out again, 113-105 over the Brooklyn Nets. They're 15-25, but 11-10 at home. Cooper Flagg had another big game, 27 points, 3 steals, continues to play at an elite level. The Jazz beat the Cavaliers 112. You also looked at the Pacers beating the Celtics last night, 98-96. I know you talked about this. We got to figure out a way to get Tyrese Halliburton on the show here in the next week or so, because I think he's starting to work out. He said he's been playing one-on-one, so there might be some opportunities there. The Clippers beat the Hornets yesterday, 117-109, and the Sacramento Kings punched the LA Lakers in the face.
Why you have to rub it in? Why you have to say it like that?
Well, because, that's what I saw. 124-112. Hey, Luka scored 42 points.
I don't care.
They lost.
They lost
in that. LeBron was 0-5 from 3. He did score 22 points. DeAndre Ayton actually showed up in the game, had a double-double, 13 points, 13 boards. Man, look at him. They still ain't getting much support from the bench as you start to look around. Jackson Hayes is the only one who decided. Did Bronny got you 6 points? Yeah, Bronny. Way to go, Bronny.
Hey, you like you're rubbing it in, boy. I tell you.
Yeah, way to go, Bronny.
I'm talking about your loss last night.
Don't worry about my loss, man. Don't worry about it. I lost my toe as the tile landed on my foot. Hey, for Mark Henry, for Marcus, I'm Hardball Hardge. Make sure you stay locked in all day long right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone. Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd, and the Craig Way Show all in a row. Where else do you want to be except for right here? And just remember this, don't believe everything you see, because even salt looks like sugar. Peace.
We're definitely going to be late to the concert. I feel like we should be there by now.
I'm just taking a little detour. I got to fill up my gas tank, and I know this place a couple towns over where the gas is cheaper.
Are you serious? We're going to be late